Hello, everybody. A second live broadcast in one day. Aren't you excited, right? But Amy and I had more to share with you, but not about She Rises this time, but about the Energy Almanac. Hello, Amy. Twice in one
Hello,
day.
Janet. It's been so long since I've seen you. I can't wait to have another conversation with you. And for those of you that don't know, this is pretty ironic. Janet and I used to live about four houses apart, and we never saw each other in person. We always saw each other on the internet. And now that she doesn't live four houses away from me, you're what, 20 miles from me?
Oh, about 29 miles away,
We still
upriver.
see each other on the internet. So
Yeah, almost every day it seems like in some way, shape, or another we are interacting, either through video like this, our Zoom sessions, our famous little, quick let me show you how this is happening and not working or whatever. So it's kind of fun. But this time, Amy and I are showing up here to talk about the Energy Almanac because it's just a quirk of fate, Amy, that we have two big things happening in the month of September. One being the She Rises Summit, which we just, did a quick broadcast about, but also the Energy Almanac is in its pre-sale. And as luck would have it, you are also a part of the Energy Almanac for the 2026-27, the book, as a contributor. So we are both, again, happy to be able to share this information with you. So I actually brought my handy dandy Energy Almanac today because I wanted to show the real value of this book. Now, this year's book is already at the printer, and the printing is going to be the first coil bound books. Now, the reason you want a coil bound book is because it does this. It lays flat. Let me see if I can show you flatness. But also, I can turn this inside out, and then I can show it to you this way. And because there are places to write in this book, the coil bound book lets me put it flat. And I can either put it flat wide or just flat with the page I want to write on up at the top. So it makes this particular version so valuable, right? This to me is gold, right? Because I can write on it. Now, this is my extra copy, so it doesn't have writing in it, but don't let that fool you because in my real copy, I write in it. And Amy, let's talk about you as a contributor. So every year we choose, well, anywhere from 4 to 6 contributors that are going to come in and share their stories, their information, their wisdom with all of the people that are purchasing the Energy Almanac. And Amy, as a contributor this year, tell us about what it is that you are bringing to everybody each month.
great, thank you. So for those of you who don't know me, I teach a combination of compassion meditation and qigong, and I also incorporate mindset in there. And so when Janet invited me to be a contributor this year, I thought about, what is it that I really want to be offering people? And I teach those three components in a program, a 12-week program called Body, Mind, Intelligence. And it's a really wonderful, rich program because it's body and mind. So it's an integration of the two, and it's about intelligence. So not just intelligence, but using thought, using the wisdom of the body. So I rolled all of that into little chunks of information for each month. So I looked at the astrology for each month and I thought, okay, what resonates with me there? And so I wrote a little bit. It's either about compassion, it's either about qigong, or it's about mindset. And then in addition to each of those little bits, all of the contributors have bonus materials that we're offering. And my bonus materials include lessons for each month. There's 5 qigong lessons, there's 5 compassion training lessons, and there's 5 mindset lessons. And it's just a really nice way to augment and integrate what you're learning in the book into everyday life. Janet and I were just talking about that on our last live Zoom, about the value of integrating what you're learning into everyday life. If you read it and don't take action, So what? And again, going back to where Janet was like, look, it lays flat. That integration of using your hand to physically write, you are bringing that energy into the body. You're thinking about things, you're feeling things, you're wanting to record them, and by physically engaging your body in the act of writing, it is so powerful. And this coil bound is just fantastic. I haven't had one in my hot little hands yet, but I can't wait to get mine. And I understand that there's 2 more days. That's it, right? 2 more days to get the coil bound book.
That's right. Today is the 9th, and the coil bound sale begins on September 11th. So get yours now. And um, when you buy the Energy Almanac, you have the opportunity to get bundles, right? And the first bundle that you can get is a copy of the coil bound book along with free shipping, right? That's $5, $6 almost right now for shipping, this kind of media mail to wherever it is that you live in the world. We are shipping it to you for free. And of course, there's another bundle that upgrades a bit. You can get that bundle, and you have access to the coil bound book, the free shipping, but also every December we do an astrology, human design, gene keys look ahead at the year in front of us, and as a webinar. And Tam and I are giving you a free ticket to that webinar. It's a $75 value because that's what we charge for that webinar, and free when you buy the bundle with the book, the shipping, and the webinar. Now, let's talk a minute, Amy, about why it is there were 15 lessons instead of 12, because that's an important factor this year.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, so I can't wait to learn why.
Why?
15.
Right. So Tam and I go back to this time last year. And Tam was interested in bringing me in as an owner to help her, be a partner in doing this. Now, I'd always been a partner in the writing, but this was, more business oriented. And as we were talking, I suddenly went, why don't we, put this out there as an astrological almanac and base it on the astrological year, which runs from March until March, as opposed to January to January, right? There's really no life in the January 1st. It's arbitrary, it's business oriented. It really has nothing spiritual around it. It has no real reason for it to be, but the March 19th, 19th, 20th, or 21st, whenever we get to the spring equinox, which begins with the sun at 0 degrees of Aries, is when the real year begins. And that shift that we're making to do that meant that poor January, February, and early March would have been left out of a book that started. So we created what we are calling a bridge book, which will be a free digital download for everyone who purchases the book. And actually, it's free for everyone. I shouldn't probably say that, but I am, because it is really going to be free, because people who've never heard about the Energy Almanac can get that download and maybe become interested in purchasing it for the value of the book itself. Even though it won't be coil bound at that point, it would be just a paper bound book.
So, quick
So
question.
we're trying to, yeah.
So what you're saying is that the physical coil-bound book that's at the printer right now is running March to March, and that it's this digital bridge that is going to be the January, February,
and the first third of March.
Part of March.
2/3 of March.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's so neat and tidy to say, oh, January 1st we start, right? But nothing really ever starts then, right? We're deep in winter if you're in the northern hemisphere, or we've just started winter actually in the northern hemisphere. And almost any discipline, culture, religion that you can look at always seems to have this energy around the very beginning of spring, right? That equinox. They may not call it that, But,
Right.
they're talking about, spring, something new, this fertile time of the year, reproduction, all of that. Well, of course, that's the spring. So astrologically, the spring begins with that equinox on, like I said, whatever, March 20th, 21st, usually somewhere right around there. So we're following the sun instead of following some arbitrary calendar that really is devoid of meaning, right? When you look at January 1st, I mean, other than the fact we artificially celebrate it as the first of the year, it really holds no magic.
Right.
But March 21st next year does hold magic as it is the beginning of the new astrological year. So March 26 to March 27 is the astrological year. We'll have the bridge book from January 26th to the 20th, I think it is, of March of 2026 as the bridge to get you to that. And it's in a digital version, so it's downloadable, it's free, and then you'll have your purchased copy of the Energy Almanac, either the coil bound if you order now, or the paper bound that you can use from March then until March of the following year. So
Great.
it'll
And,
be interesting for everybody.
and why don't you tell us real quickly why there's a finite or limited edition to this coil bound book? Why aren't they available year round? Why
Yeah, they're
why
not available. We have a printer that we use, and we kind of contract with them for a certain number of coil bound books. And that is derived from the number of sales that we get from September 1st through 11th, and then an extra number over that. Like if we had, I'm making up numbers, let's say we had 450 pre-orders for the coil bound, we'll decide, okay, we're going to get 500 just because it's cheaper that way to buy in bulk.
Mhm.
So we would
Okay.
have a few extra copies of it for people, but we never know for sure if we're going to have the extras, right? Because we're not going to jump to 1,000 if we only sold 500. So it's a matter of how they set up the printing. And Vervante is the printing company, but then Amazon takes over for the paper bound books after the pre sale is over. So, that in a nutshell is how it is. They save this time of year for us for the coil bound books, and we drive the sales to the coil bound books, and then we go on. Now, you got to think about this. These also make excellent Christmas presents,
Right.
which is
Absolutely.
which is why we're selling them, to wholesalers even at this moment in time, because they need them to be available for those Christmas sales. So you can get a copy for yourself, but maybe buy a copy for your sister, brother, cousin, uncle, mother, whatever, right? That might, enjoy having something like this as well. And you can order that now and also maybe invite them to the webinar, right? They can, if you
Right.
buy the bundle, they can participate just like you can. So it's just something that I don't know. It's in its eighth year, right? This is the eighth year of the Energy Almanac, and I personally have been involved with it right from the start. Amy, you came in one year as editor and was a part of it, and now you've jumped over to contributor as your role here too. And I just think it's fascinating that we can bring so many different subject matters together. We have Natasha Venter, who is an intuitive, and she channels messages from angels and from star beings, and they are in every month's edition. We have a woman that combines astrology and oils, and she calls it oil astrology. And I love that. So, certain oils for certain months because of the astrological energy. And then we have another wellness person involved, and she shares her wisdom around health for each month. And then, of course, Amy sharing the information about body mind intelligence. And so we're all coming from different facets. I actually wrote numerology articles for this book. There are moon articles for the new and the full moon every month in this book. And there are also weekly, because we go by the weeks, weekly astrological information to help you get through the month, right? That's
Yes.
perfect. Then at the beginning of each month, and this part is something that Tam dreamed up, where you can do some oracle card readings, right? You can pull cards for each week of the month.
Nice. Like
And,
using your
for
own favorite deck at home, you mean?
yeah, use your own favorite deck. And, Amy, you have a deck. That would be great, right? You have your own deck of cards that we could all, use the compassionate cards. Look at the pictures on those cards. If you have them somewhere, post the link in the chat
Oh,
so people can get the cards if they don't have a deck of cards to use, or if they just love animals and nature, because I love her deck. What else am I missing? I think that's it. Maybe the link to where you can get it. Let me put that order link in right now. It's super simple. You just go to this website that I'm going to give you the link to, and boom, shakalaka, there you go. And hello, Angela Christine. I see you out there. Thanks for watching.
And I just dropped on my end of the chat, Janet, the link to the cards and deck if you want to grab that and drop it into your
I
Facebook.
am right now getting that to bring it to the comments. And here is a link to purchase Amy's Cultivating Compassion cards. And they're lovely pictures. And then on the back, lovely sayings and different wisdom from a compassion standpoint. And draw us a card, Amy. Just draw us a card.
Okay, let's see. Let me.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. All right. So these cards tie to a book I wrote a little while ago called Cultivating Compassion, and it's 66 really bite-sized, digestible lessons around compassion with self-reflection questions and suggestions for integration. So each of these goes with that. So this card, oh, it's funny. I just pulled this the other day. This is the image of the card.
Ooh, beautiful turtle.
And the back of it looks like this. So it's about self-acceptance. I'm a good person is the only affirmation I need. I mean, and how simple is that, right? I mean, that is the lesson all of us can work with every day. I'm a good person. That's the only affirmation I need. And it's really
right? Self-compassion.
That's right. And a piece of that in this case is self-acceptance. So I love this. I love this little turtle. And so and then again on the back side here, that number 3 at the top, what the number associates with is the chapter number in my book.
Yeah.
So
and I put the name of the book and your name up there with us so they can get that book. Yeah.
Thanks. And so then again, here, just as an example, this is what the inside of the book looks like. So it's really simple. It's not a ton of writing, but it's enough to be a little bit of food for thought. So
I love it.
Thanks for the shout out, Janet. And yeah, if you don't have cards, choose mine.
Yeah, why not? They're beautiful. Okay. Anything else we need to share about the Energy Almanac, the pre-sale? Remember, the pre-sale is just 2 more days. And I've put up the link here for you to follow to order your book bundle and get that. The books deliver in early November or mid-November, I believe it is, in time for Christmas, but also in time for you to get a good look ahead at what might be coming for the next year, and to make your plans to attend the webinar if you get the big bundle. And that's it, really.
And what's that webinar date, Janet? Do you know yet?
No, I believe it's December 17th.
Okay.
Let me see. I can look at my calendar here. 1, 2, 3, December 17th.
Okay, good.
And it'll be at noon p.m. West Coast time, which is 3 p.m. East Coast time, and about 7-ish p.m. if you're in the UTC time zone. Okay. Maybe later. Awesome. I'm not good at UTC. I know what time it is in the USA. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, Amy. It's so much fun to talk to you twice in one day about stuff that we're doing and stuff that we love. And if you guys have any questions at all, please reach out and ask your question. And we'll see you on the other side.
All right. Have a great afternoon, Janet. Have a great afternoon, everybody.
Bye, Amy.
Bye.